back to the Product Pub, where we talk about all things tech, business, startups, ideas, product management, goal setting, routine, productivity, and everything related. I am so excited for this video because I am a hugely goal-orientated person. I set goals left, right, and center for literally every aspect of my life. I set really big goals, then I set some small goals as well. But I really think it's important to write your goals down. As soon as you write them down, you are holding yourself accountable. It's just not enough to think about the things that you want or think about the goals that you have. Keep them in your head, no, write them down. The purpose of this video is to be a very, very practical takeaway for you. I want you to be able to take my goal setting system, which I obviously build in Notion. It is a Notion Kanban board, and I want you to be able to apply it to your own life, or at least parts of it that you feel like you resonate with. So my philosophy on goal setting is that there are seasons to your life, and the seasons to your life are not going to be bound by a calendar year, right? You don't have to set new goals in January, and you don't have to achieve them by December. Or if you don't achieve them by December, it doesn't mean you failed. You can also have really, really big, audacious goals. You can have goals that span the next 5 to 10 years and the direction and vision that you have for your life. But you can also have goals that you want to achieve in the next month, in the next quarter. So you can have huge visionary macro goals, and you can have medium-term goals, which maybe span 2 to 3 years. And then you can have short-term, month-to-month or yearly goals. Basically what I'm saying is you can set goals at any time, and they can be as big and as small as you want them to be. Now, I also believe it is very healthy to review your goals on a regular basis and change them and pivot them. I think pivoting and changing goals is in fact very, very healthy and a great thing to do. And it actually shows that you are developing and progressing as a person, and probably even progressing in terms of achieving your goals. Because when you realize that there is a goal you initially set for yourself and you no longer feel like that goal serves you, or you're no longer interested in that, that's because you've changed as a person. And guess what? So much changes over a calendar year. When you set a goal in January, it is totally fine if in July or if in April or even in November, you decide that goal doesn't serve you anymore. That is not you failing to achieve your goal. That is you changing as a human being, and your goals should absolutely reflect that. So doing monthly reviews of your goals and how you are tracking towards them is a really great way to think about whether you need to pivot away or even completely eliminate or add new goals that you didn't originally set for yourself. Now, you don't have to do this monthly. You could do it every quarter. You could do it every season. You could do it twice a year. So maybe you do like a mid-year reset. I personally really like doing it monthly, and I've seen a lot of value and benefit come from that for me. Now, as much as you want your goals to be smart and measurable, let's be realistic in that we're not at work. These are our life goals, and not everything is always going to be measurable in a quantitative way, and that is totally fine. And what I really like to do is have some goals or more intentions, I should say, about how I want to feel. So I've got some very specific goals. I want to achieve this, or I want to reach this milestone by this date, and it's pretty black and white. And then I've got some goals that are about a general intention that I want to carry through a period of time, or things that I would like to aspire to do in order to make me feel a certain way. So that's pretty much the gist of my goal setting philosophy, and I think you'll see that reflected in my goal setting system. Okay, next, let's talk about reflection and review. Now, as I mentioned before, I like to reflect on a monthly basis. So at the end of every month, I will reflect and review the previous month, and that will really help me think about the things I want to change or improve or carry on with in the coming month. The way that I like to reflect on the previous whole year is by making a little table which has the months on the side, and then for every month I will think about a memory that I have from that month. So a good memory, something that I achieved, something that I did. It could be really big or it could be really small as maybe I finally went to a restaurant I've been wanting to go to for a really long time, or it could be as big as I travel to this place, or I reach this specific milestone. Whatever it is that I remember from that month, I will write down. This kind of just gives me some nice feelings towards what happened every single month. It makes me reflect on things that went well and what I'm really grateful for having experienced in that given month. And then it also just gives me a really nice overview of the entire year and helps me remember things that I feel like sometimes I just have forgotten. So let's review my 2022 together. I'm not going to share everything, but I will share the things that I am comfortable with sharing on here. I'm just going to go through this column called Smashed, which is what I call my done column for the goals that I've accomplished. And any goals that I change or I leave on the board, and any goals that I completely remove because they are no longer aligned with what I want, I move into just out of the board completely. So these are goals that I have completed. So first and foremost, I finished 2 half marathons. I did the Great Ocean Road Marathon in May, and then I did the Nike Half Marathon in Melbourne in October. Next, I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. This was a huge accomplishment for me. Not only did I hit the 1,000 subscribers, but I also monetized my channel, which meant reaching 4,000 watch hours in 12 months. I went to the dentist. Yes, I did, and I actually got my wisdom tooth removed, which was something I had been putting off for years and years and years. So really happy I got that done. I had a blood test. I want to just do this regularly, especially as I get older. Daily TikTok uploads. I'm pretty happy with saying that I did accomplish this probably up to the end of November, and then December was just completely for me focusing on my personal life and my moving houses. I was totally okay with it. I ran 100 kilometers in 1 month. Now, when I was training for one of my half marathons, I had a very rigorous training plan, and as a result of that, I was able to hit 100 kilometers in a single month. For the most part, uploaded weekly on YouTube. I've got a promotion at work, moving into a more product leadership role. I moved into my new apartment, and I was able to comfortably financially reach the goal that I had in order to be able to do that. I really nailed my morning routine. Like, I really got it down pat. I treated content creation like a job. And yeah, I definitely grew my investments in terms of shares and savings and cryptocurrency. So yeah, those are some of the things that I achieved in 2022. Okay, now that we have reflected and reviewed, we are ready to start setting goals for the future. Now, because I like to set goals for literally my entire life, nothing is off the cards, you will see. I have a lot of different goal categories. And the reason for this is simply because it helps me feel organized. I feel like I can compartmentalize different aspects of my life. And obviously there are so many aspects to life that sometimes I feel like if I have less categories, then things get really blurred. Whereas I think of this as this big pie that I've sliced up into 10 categories. So my categories for goal setting are fitness, health, career, business, finance, personal relationships, fun, personal development or mindfulness, mini challenges, and I have medium 2 to 3 year goals. And then I also have my life vision and my vision board, which I will talk about soon. So each of these categories I have in a separate column on my Kanban board. You can have as few or as many categories as you like. You could even have no categories. I know some people just like to list their goals as they are. This is just how my brain works. This is how I function. I really like breaking them up into areas that I can think about independently of others. And when I kind of look at my categories at a glance, I feel like it represents my whole life. So while there is a lot here, I really feel like this Notion board reflects me as an entire human being. And I think having so many categories is the reason for that. So now last but not least, yes, I have a vision board. Now, as with my entire goal setting philosophy, I don't have a vision board for 2023. I just have what I call my life vision board. And it has certain things that I hope to achieve in the next year, in the shorter term, so maybe 2 to 3 years. And then I have things that maybe I won't do for another 5 years or 10 years. and maybe ultimately what my life will look like or what I'm aiming for it to look like. So this is my life vision board. I update this when I feel like it is no longer reflecting me and what I want, or when I feel like I have achieved a lot of the things on this board, I will go and update it. I think I updated this just a few months ago, so nothing to do with the new year. All right, now let's dive into the actual Notion board and let me talk through how I have set it up to document my goals for the next year and beyond. So I have one view of this board that is a board by goal type. So this is based on one column for each category of the goal. And then I also have another view, which I use less often, which is based on the status of all of the goals, regardless of category. So if I'm really interested in seeing my goals based on a particular area of my life, then I look at this board. And if I want to see how I'm progressing overall with all of my goals, then I will look at this board. And usually this will have a lot that is in progress or not started, because of some of these things I'm not going to get to until much later in the year, and that is totally fine. So let's go through my card setup. Basically, for every single card, I have a type. So my types are the goal categories. Tags is what I use if I want to add an additional category to a goal. Sometimes there are goals that span multiple categories, and so I would just use this. So for example, running a full marathon, yes, it is a fitness goal, but I also think it's fun because I like running, and it's also a health goal. So that's why I put it in the fitness category, because it's predominantly a fitness goal, but then I also think it spans these other categories. Then I have due. So not every single goal will have a due, and yes, I use quarters just because I don't want to be as specific as saying a month, but I roughly want to indicate the time of year. So you could do seasons, or you could do first half of the year, second half of the year, whatever you like, but quarters works really well for me in my mind, and it also aligns with seasons. So, and then last but not least, I have the status. So I've not started. Blocked, I don't really know what I need blocked for, but hey, this is a product manager in me. I have on track, which means I feel like I'm definitely going to reach this goal. Then I have in progress, meaning I don't know for sure if I'm going to reach it, but I am progressing towards that. Then I have needs work, which means I'm really not making good headway with this, and I need to sort that out. And then there are some things that I have planned for or organized, but I can't quite execute on them yet, and that is organized. And then the last one is done. I shouldn't need done, because done goals should really just move into the smashed column, but it's there anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much my setup for my Notion board. I like to make this fun. So as you can see, I've got colors, I've got emojis. Emojis are extremely important for me. I don't want this to look like a work Kanban board. You know, I want it to be fun. I want it to be something that lifts my mood when I look at it, and I love emojis, so it's a way for me to express myself. And yeah, this is how I set up my board. So as promised, I'm going to share with you some specific goals that I have for the next year and beyond. Run a full marathon. I want to run 1,000 kilometers in 2023. This, I want to try Pilates. So for career, I have to make an impact in my product leadership role. For business, I want to speak at an event. I want to launch my podcast. I want to have a side project income of $3,000 a month. I want to get a sponsor for my newsletter. For finance, I have a certain dollar amount that I want to save or invest every single month. I want to do a Europe trip, and I want to visit one new place in Australia. So I want to read 20 books this year. That is a lot for me. Then I've got some challenges. I want to run 5 kilometers a day for 30 days. Then I've got some medium, like 2 to 3 year goals. And the reason I have those on this board as well is because everything I do in the next 12 to 18 months should help me achieve those medium 2 to 3 year goals. So that's it. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you got this far. I really do appreciate it. And I really hope you took away something from this video that is gonna help you with the way you approach the things that you want to achieve in life. My single takeaway for you from this, if I have one takeaway from you from this video, is keep it simple and just write down what it is that you want anywhere. Literally get a scrappy piece of paper, get a napkin, pencil, pen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be complicated, but just write it down. I promise you, when you write it down, you are going to be so much more likely to work towards it, keep yourself accountable, and achieve it. So yeah, that is it for now. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be doing a monthly reset video at the end of January or early February. And if you like this video, then you're definitely going to like that one. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video.